Ah, my trusty research assistant returns, and not a moment too soon. I could rather use your help again, this time in regards to my studies in the field of education. While my peers are content to parrot from the same old textbooks, I wish to push conventions by studying something more elusive. I trust I've piqued your interest? I require 3 specific textbooks. One from the Jedi Archives of Coruscant. Another, I believe, was taken to the very first Jedi Temple on a remote planet. And the last... well, the final text is in the possession of one of Theed's very own professors. A frightful bore who refused to give it to me when I asked. Perhaps you'll have more luck.
Con lisa baluga ronga. Okidi juvisa liba.
Looking to get across the planet? Rest whatever it is you use for legs and hop in one of these. Taking too long? Just sit back and relax.
A textbook? Most of the knowledge here was transferred to datacrons long ago. I'm not sure if we kept the books, but if we did, they'd be tucked away somewhere out of sight.
Sorry, I can't do this.
That's Key Audi Monday, of course. An average bog-wing catcher with an above-average head. That's Mace Windu, named after the weapon he used to catch his only bog-wing. A window. I may need to cross-reference that. That's Dooku. Just because he was the best bog-wing catcher doesn't mean he was well-liked. We really ought to take that down now.
Still not quite got the hang of my force powers yet. Master Yoda told me patience is the key to all locks, but I spent hours staring at my locker yesterday and nothing.
Ah, yes, Master Yoda, a peaceful, diplomatic soul, chose to use words with bog-wings and came in last for it. Oh, that's Obi-Wan Kenobi, a handsome young man. He was a little too smug about beating Master Qui-Gon in the rounding of the bog-wings. Qui-Gon Jinn. When catching bog-wings, you should say that the fourth was with him. Oh, it gets awful lonely in these archives.
I'm so glad I got to leave home and come to Coruscant. Nothing bad is ever going to happen to the Jedi, especially whilst in the Jedi Temple. I know the busts go in a certain order according to the story, but I just like matching them to the picture. I know the busts go in a certain order according to the story, but I just like matching them to the pictures.
I overheard some of the masters say that if you arrange the busts into a certain order, it'll unlock something in this room. Apparently, the order is linked with an old trial the masters took part in. Maybe the archiver remembers.
I've not come across something like this before.
Ah, checking in on me? That's very thoughtful. But I shan't be locking myself out again.
You managed to find all the texts I asked for? Remarkable. And I was almost entirely sure that at least one of them didn't even exist. I mean, not that I would have sent you if... Anyway, I must begin to comb these pages for their delicious wisdom immediately. Thank you again for your assistance. There you are. I was hoping you would stop by. Your help has been invaluable thus far, but I have one final favor to ask in service of my latest subject, politics. I know, snore, but politics can be rather fascinating. And if you can gather some records of galactic Senate meetings, I can put together a thesis about why. Are you in? Records of recent Galactic Senate meetings should be kept by the Secretary somewhere in the Federal District. If you can find the Secretary, you'll find the records. Good luck!
I heard a racket coming from the Jedi Temple earlier. Bet a couple of younglings were messing around without the Master present. Kids with unimaginable power will be kids with unimaginable power, I guess. The Senate Secretary? She is probably at home right now. She lives over that way.
Back in my youth, my friends and I would spin and flip our way to the top of vents like these. Oh, to be young again. Yes, I am the Secretary for the Galactic Senate. Older meeting records are available to the public, but they're currently all checked out. Kids these days really love politics. I can tell you who checked the records out and where you're likely to find them if you're that desperate. Maybe you can convince them to let you take them.
Other planets need to work on their tourism strategy. On Coruscant, we have a plethora of culture and significant history to delve into. On Hoth, you can delve into some snow and get frostbite. Hardly weekend break material.
Before you head into that shop, I have something you should know. The guy who runs the place used to work for the Emperor. He has an old spy droid that I'm sure has something interesting in its memory banks. But he'd probably only share that kind of information with a fellow fan of the Emperor.
Sure. You can take this record if it means that much to you. But, what do I get in return? All right. I guess I can let it go then. Enjoy!
You want to borrow these records? Well, I'm kind of reading it, but that glint in your eye says you really love politics, and I could never say no to a glint. Here you go.
You need these meeting records? By all means, take them. They are so boring. I only got them so my friends would think I'm cool, but they are not worth it.
Did you bring me the records? Marvelous. I can't wait to dive in and explore all these exciting... Parking tickets. Zoning permits. Taxes. Oh dear. This is nowhere near as juicy as I'd hoped. Well, I suppose politics can't be all glamour all the time. Thanks again for your help. There are at least 14 pages dedicated to a meeting about rubbish collections. I have never been so fascinated by something in my entire life.